Okay, now we've done our pre-flight setup, we're ready to go and start up the aircraft. So, before we start the engine, we make sure that the main power switch is set to battery and the indicator lights are on. We'll make sure the FLCS power switch is set to test. All four lights will go on for about 1 second, and then A, B, C and D will illuminate as the FLCS battery passes its test. Once that's done, we'll set FLCS power to norm and main power to main power. We'll confirm the EPU PMG light is off and the EPU gen light is off. We'll make sure the canopy is closed and locked, and the parking brake is set, and the intake and danger area is clear. Okay, to start the engine, we'll set the jet fuel starter to start 1. Make sure the indicator light is on. Okay, we'll check the RPM, should slowly build up to 20%. And check that the oil pressure is rising above redline. And engage fuel flow. Throttle should ease out at about 60% RPM. Okay, we'll do a quick check on RPM, oil pressure and fuel flow. And moving outside the aircraft, we'll check that the JFS doors are both shut. Now the after engine start checklist. Switch all our avionics on. And the INS to align. You'll see from the data entry display here that the INS is beginning to spool up. Turn the symbology for the heads-up display on. You'll notice we'll have a flashing or a solid align light to indicate that the INS is currently aligning. Next we'll turn the 4 sensor power switches on. And make sure the MFDs are set as required. Next we'll check the fire and overheat detect switch to test, and check that the engine fire light and the overheat light both come on. We'll set the malfunction in the indicator light switch to test, and make sure that all the indications and annunciations are illuminated. Next we'll set the FLCS bit switch to bit. The FLCS bit run and fail lights, as well as the FLCS DBU on and FLCS fault lights will illuminate. The fail and DBU on lights go off during the test, and the blinking run light indicates completion of a short test, and FLSC bit can be switched off. Keep the FLCS bit on bit to continue with the long test. The blinking run light again indicates completion of the test, and FLCS bit can be switched off. And we recommend that the long test be performed on the first flight of the day. And when the FLCS bit light is blinking, we'll turn the switch off and verify that DBU on FLCS and FLCS fault lights are all extinguished. Next we'll make sure that AVTR is set as required and the ECM is set to standby. It'll take about 2 minutes to warm the ECM system up, and then the lights will extinguish. Set the IFF to normal and the refuel light to ready. We'll check externally that the air-to-air refueling receptacle is open, and then we'll close it. Next we'll double check that the EPU lights and switches are off, and that the test for the chaff and flare system, it runs correctly. Now when the INS is blinking ready on the DED and blinking a line on the head-up display, we're ready to align the INS. So we right-click the mouse and search it to nav, and that will initiate the INS and get everything up and running. Now with that done, I will tune COM1 to 126.4 and enter. That'll set my COM1. I'll show you again, you can just punch these numbers into the display on the ICP and away you go. Same with the transponder, we press IFF to get it on the correct page. Use the return and sequence button to scroll through to M3 and then type in your transponder code, in this case 1200. You can also check various different listings using the list button and any of the associated numbers on the ICP. I'll go into more detail on this function in another video. Okay, we're pretty much ready to go, so I'll switch the parking brake to anti-skid. Make sure everything looks good. Arm the ejection seat, make sure the light's extinguished. Switch our probe heat to on. And we'll double check that the light is extinguished. And with all that completed, and no annunciator lights, I can turn the chaff and flare to program, the ECM2 on, although you wouldn't probably use these on the ground, but I've included them as part of the video. Again, a quick look around to make sure everything's fine, and we'll turn off the master reset.